Hi everyone and welcome to NCHC Between the Boards. I'm Greg Ankers. On tonight's show, we'll recap 3 key league series from across the NCHC this past weekend. And the man with the pulse on college hockey drops by as Brad Schlossman and I discuss the legislation brought to the NCAA from the Big Ten Conference. And the Denver hockey team is grooming future pioneers. We'll get to all of that in just a bit, but first we start with our Spotlight Series featuring number 4 North Dakota at number 17 Minnesota Duluth last weekend. Both teams entering fairly efficient on the offensive and defensive end. UND entered outscoring its opponents 16-3 over the last 4 games, while Minnesota Duluth has outscored its opposition 24-2 in that same span. And these two teams would duke it out in a something's gotta give series. It would not take long, however, for this series to tip to one side. Midway through the first, still scoreless, North Dakota entering the zone. Nick Schmaltz to Brock Besser. Besser getting hauled down by Carson Poolman, but finishes with the goal to make it 1-0 Fighting Hawks. Later in the period, Tucker Poolman going to feed Shane Gersich down low here. Gersich gets the goal to make it 2-0 North Dakota after the first period. Midway through the second now, North Dakota again on the attack, flying up the ice. Luke Johnson got a 2-on-1 with his teammate Joel Janatwinen, and Janatwinen finishes the deal there to make it 3-0 UND. Meanwhile, other end of the ice, Duluth trying to get something going. Andy Walensky on the doorstep. Clean shot there, but Cam Johnson there for the save, and what a night it was for number 33 between the pipes for North Dakota. Johnson would battle leg cramps in the third period, but would hold steady. Here, Dominic Toninato gets a little space and tries to go backhand, but Johnson is there for the glove save and a beauty. And later, Duluth still trying to get on the scoreboard. Carson Poolman with a chance here, but Cam Johnson there again for another stop, one of his 40 saves on the night. North Dakota's penalty kill goes 5 for 5 as they win it 3-0, but they know they can do better.
It was great, obviously. I haven't played here before, so coming out it was a pretty hostile environment, and we knew it was going to be a tough road game, and they came out really hard and kind of put us on our heels a little bit, but we pushed forward and got the win.
We came out and we played our game in the first, but then in the second and third we kind of backed off what we wanted to do. We kind of gave them offensive chances that we didn't really need to. We turned a few pucks over, and I think we just got to get back to our game tomorrow.
Scott Sandelin hoping his team could bounce back on Saturday night and maybe just even get a goal. Those would be tough to come by. Midway through the second, North Dakota on a power play, and Tucker Poolman gets the goal here to make it 1-0 North Dakota. Seconds later, UND still with a man advantage, and Brock Besser is going to get the puck on the near side, skate in and go backhand to beat Casimir Kaskasuo to make it 2-0 North Dakota. Duluth trying to solve this. Cam Johnson goaltender for North Dakota, Charlie Samper with a shot here. Parker McKay snaps one home, or does he? No, after further review, it was played with a high stick, so no goal. It's still 2-0. So Duluth goes back to the drawing board, still creating lots of chances. Adam Johnson, nice cross-ice feed here to Dominic Toninato. Cam Johnson there to snag that one out of the air. Then another Duluth rush comes later. Tony Cameronese going to have the opportunity here for the Bulldogs. He shoots one on. Johnson again with another nice save. And late in the third, North Dakota ices it. Luke Johnson with the empty netter here as North Dakota goes on to win by another 3-0 score. Cam Johnson 38 saves, and what a weekend for UND.
Calm, cool, collected. He was awesome. He was everything for us. He was our backbone. He was amazing all weekend long. He was seeing the pucks, making big saves, and if he wasn't seeing them, he fought and found them. And he was just unbelievable all weekend, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
I'm seeing the puck right now. Seeing the puck well. I think the guys are playing well in front of me too. Although maybe they got a few shots this weekend, but no, I thought they did a great job clearing out bodies in front and making my job easy. Just letting me make that initial save, and they cleared out the rebounds, cleared out bodies, and that's all you can ask for them.
Straight ahead, we've got more highlights from around the NCHC. Can Colorado College stay hot? We'll answer that question on the other side of this break. Welcome back. St. Cloud State entered last weekend ranked 5th in the NCAA in scoring, averaging more than 4 goals a game, and the Huskies may be catching a bit of a break. Their 4 losses this year have all come against top 5 teams as they visited number 11th ranked Denver, but the Pioneers, meanwhile, entered the weekend undefeated at home, winning all 4 of their contests to date at Magnus Arena. And the home team would get off to a good start in this one, pick it up with about 6 minutes to go in the first, and Dylan Gambrill going to come up with the big shot here for Denver, knocking the water bottle off the goaltender's net to make it 1-0 Pioneers after 1. In the second, Denver adds to its lead just 2.5 minutes into the period. Right out in front, Troy Terry with the second effort there makes it 2-0 Pioneers. But things start to go the other direction after that. Now 2-1 later in the second, Kali Kosala going to jump back on top of that one following his own shot around the net. Ties things up at 2 apiece after 2. In the third, St. Cloud State grabs the lead and then goes for insurance. Nice moves there by Kosala, beating everybody, gets the goal to make it 4-2. St. Cloud State goes on to win by the final of 5-2. First loss for the Pioneers on their home ice all season. St. Cloud State then looking for a sweep on Saturday. They'd get off to a good start. Less than 4 minutes in, Joey Bennick with the goal there. Give the Huskies a 1-0 lead. Denver, though, not going down without a fight. They would answer back at the other end on a power play. Puck loose out in front. Charlie Lindgren can't corral it. Gabe Levin gets the goal to tie things up at 1 apiece after 1. In the second, just seconds in, it's Kali Kosala comes calling once again. Right out in front, puts that one home. Give the Huskies a 2-1 lead. Later in the period then, up 3-1. It's Kosala once again. He had Patrick Russell there, but Kosala feeling it. He finishes to make it 4-1. St. Cloud State goes on to win 6-2 and get a nice road sweep for the Huskies.
I thought we started off slow in the first 5 minutes, and you're right, after we got that power play, I really liked the way we were playing, and the energy and the emotion in the locker room was the best I'd seen it, since we beat Wisconsin. So we were very positive about what was going to happen, but, they get 2 soft goals, and it's hard to recover from that.
And 2 teams entered in very different directions this past weekend in Kalamazoo as Western Michigan played host to Colorado College. The Tigers entered having won 3 games in a row, including their first home sweep as a member of the NCHC. Western Michigan, meanwhile, entered having lost 8 straight games. The Broncos looking to bounce back on home ice. And early on in this series, it looked like both trends were going to continue. Colorado College strikes first less than 4.5 minutes in on a power play. Andrew Farney sending one on net that gets by everybody and gives the Tigers an early 1-0 lead. Western Michigan answers back, though, later in the period. Frederick Tiffel skating in with the backhanded rebounder there to tie things up at 1 goal apiece as the teams go to the locker room. Pick it up now in the second. Western leading it 2-1, but off the faceoff, Hunter Feges wastes no time, gets the goal there to tie this one up at 2 goals apiece, and Western would explode after that. Off the turnover here, Michael Rebry's got a 1-on-none situation. Advantage Rebry as he gets the goal there to make it 4-2 Western. They tack on 3 more as Western Michigan wins 7-3, snapping their 8-game losing skid.
Go through the streak that we go through mentally. It's been a real battle for our team, but fell behind. I thought we showed some mental toughness, and I thought our power play in the first period, where we generated a lot of opportunities, seemed to give us some life there. So, we're happy to get a win.
And head coach Andy Murray hoping his team could build a winning streak on Saturday night, already leading 1-0 in the first. Nolan Laporte comes up with a big shot here to give Western Michigan a 2-0 lead after the first. In the second, Colorado College not going away. 1.5 minutes into the period, Trey Bradley gets the goal here to make it a 2-1 game, but Western once again would respond, and it would be Michael Rebry starting to set the tone again. He's all alone on the near side, gets it off the end wall and makes it 3-1 Western Michigan. Then in the third, Colorado College trail 4-1 at one point. They get 2 back at the other end. Alex Roos with the goal there, but they get no closer as Western Michigan earns the sweep with a 5-3 victory Saturday night.
But at this particular point, winning these 2 games right now is great for our young men, and it's nice to see them smiling and hearing them sing the Bronco Fight song after the hockey game.
Coming off this past weekend, here are the NCHC Players of the Week. Offensive honors go to senior forward Kali Kosala from St. Cloud State. He entered this past weekend against Denver with just 3 goals all season, but he notched 5 goals in the series against the Pioneers. His teammate, senior Ethan Prow, is the defenseman of the week. He had 4 assists and a +5 rating in the series sweep in the Centennial State. Rookie honors go to freshman forward Griffin Molino from Western Michigan. He had 3 goals and 4 assists, along with a +7 rating in the Broncos sweep over Colorado College. And another weekend in the net and another Goaltender of the Week award for sophomore netminder Cam Johnson from North Dakota, who posted back-to-back shutouts with 78 saves and a sweep over Duluth. He has not allowed a single goal in more than 218 consecutive minutes. The polls look like this week. North Dakota bumps up a couple spots in the USCHO.com poll to number 2, including 1 first-place vote. They're followed by St. Cloud State and Omaha from the NCHC in the top 10. Denver and Minnesota Duluth check in at number 17 and 19, respectively. And the USA Today poll still features 3 teams from the NCHC, North Dakota at number 3, St. Cloud State and Omaha at 5 and 6. North Dakota and St. Cloud State have run away a little bit from the pack of the NCHC standings as we enter the holiday break. North Dakota leads the way with 27 points, followed by St. Cloud State at 24. Then it's a logjam after that. Minnesota, Duluth, Omaha, Western Michigan, and Denver are all separated by just 4 points. Well, coming up next on the program, Brad Schlossman and I talk about the Big Ten's big move that they're proposing for college hockey. Welcome back. Time once again for Hockey Talk here on the show, and for that we bring in Brad Schlossman, the college hockey beat writer from the Grand Forks Herald. Brad, welcome back to the show. Good to have you again, and I want to focus on the Big Ten legislation that's been pushed onto the NCAA plate. For those not in the know, essentially it would take away a year of eligibility for college hockey freshmen entering at the age of 21. And first question for you, Brad, I guess, is this attempting to fix a problem that's not even in existence, in your view?
Well, you know, I think the reason it was started is because some of the Big Ten programs who recruit primarily the younger players are sick of maybe playing against or getting beat by teams with the older players. You know, we've seen some of those teams that traditionally recruit older players have tons of success in recent years. You know, Quinnipiac right now, as we head to Christmas break, has lost 1 time this whole year, and they've been really dominant. And I think you know, that's one of the primary reason they're creating this is because they don't want to see these older players. They want to make college hockey a younger game, which would in turn benefit the teams that recruit the elite players. You know, the older players are you know, an equalizing factor for some of the non-powerhouse teams in college hockey.
The number, I think one of the top things certainly that the NCAA is in a constant battle with for players is with Canadian major juniors. So does this, if this were to pass, if the NCAA implements this, does that put more pressure on college hockey programs in that battle?
Well, you know, one of the interesting points I saw brought up by one of the Big Ten coaches is he thinks one of the reasons they're losing players to major junior is because they can play against younger opponents and maybe put up more points. Here, you know, you have to play against some older opponents. It might be a little bit tougher, and maybe they say, you know what, I don't know, maybe I'll go play against kids that are closer to my age group. Is that a valid point? I think that is a good talking point and something to bring up for college hockey. I guess, you know, one of my things is a lot of times when these proposals are brought up, they're always brought up because the teams want to do what's best for their team. You know, I don't think this was brought up as what's best for college hockey thing, but I think that's something that needs to be discussed, you know, among the groups. And I think sometimes coaches get too narrowly focused on their own teams and don't look at it at the big picture enough.
Well, and the reason why the Big Ten can put this right on the NCAA plate is because they're a full-fledged Division I league. And was their approach or style that they went to bring this to the NCAA without really doing any consulting with other leagues, would that have smoothed this over a little bit? Had they been more open to that?
I think so. I think even if this is a really good proposal, and this is a proposal that's going to benefit college hockey, just the way that it went about I don't think a lot of the coaches even sat back and thought about it. To a lot of the people, I think right away they were just angry at the Big Ten for pushing it through without the support of the body. So, that'll be make for a very interesting April coaches convention when they all get together again and discuss some of these things.
Ultimately, how do you think it shakes out?
I don't think it's going to go through just simply because there's enough resistance. The NCHC, all 8 programs are against it. A lot of those programs have sent their feedback to the NCAA committee that will be discussing this, the legislative committee, and I think other programs have done the same. And right now, I don't think it's something that's going to go through. I do think it's something that's worth talking about at April convention again. And I hope all the coaches bring an open mind to the discussion, and maybe they can, even the Big Ten coaches, the other coaches bring a really open mind, and they can figure out what's best for the sport and not just their team.
Well, let's shift to the focus of the NCHC as teams close out the first half of this season. North Dakota, St. Cloud State really have separated themselves from the rest of the pack. Is it a 2-horse race the rest of the way?
No, I'm going to throw Omaha in that group too. They're lurking real close behind. They had a terrific first half. I think they can make up ground real quickly right now, and I see those 3 actually as I know in the standings you look at it and Omaha's not up there, but I really see them as one of those teams. Duluth and Denver really put themselves in a bit of a hole the last 2 weeks, the way they kind of slipped back. So, I think those are really good teams that could eventually make a push, but they put themselves in a little bit of a hole in the first half, and I think Omaha, St. Cloud, and North Dakota have to be the 3 teams you look at in the race for the Penrose.
All right. Thanks very much, Brad. Thanks for stopping by and for your time. We're back with more right after this. Welcome back. Denver starts grooming future Pioneer hockey players at an early age with a hockey program for 4 to 18-year-olds. And it's something that benefits not only the youth players that get an opportunity to participate, but current Pioneers who chip in as well.
We're just doing the annual skate with the junior Pioneers. We had practice this morning, and these guys come out after, and whole team skates with them for about 40 minutes. We just have a good time with them.
Skating with the Junior Pioneers is an event the University of Denver hockey team makes sure they participate in one Saturday during every season. It's a way for DU to give back to a program designed to get players to the next level.
Anybody can participate. We do have tryouts for them to make teams, and we have about 300 kids in the program from U8 all the way up to U16.
With all the skating, I'm just going into sports, she's just going into sports. It's just a lot of skating, and it helps you a lot. It really does.
Along with showing their support for the program, the Pioneers sign autographs to give some hockey advice and just hang out with the younger players.
I remember when I was a kid coming out and seeing the DU Pioneers is a huge deal. Just to kind of interact with them and talk to them a little bit. It's awesome. Smile on their face is cool.
When you're a little kid and you get some older guys skating with you and some guys you look up to, it's a big deal to them. And I think that kind of hits home with us a lot. And for us to do that on the occasion that we can and see the smiles on their faces and things like that, and the parents as well, I think it goes a long way.
The DU Pioneers only get to hang out with the Junior Pioneers on occasion, but even when they're not around, they're still making an impact on the program.
What those kids are going through, they got a lot of work ahead of them, and to kind of see where we're at when we're skating with them, I think it gives them a perspective on how much work it's going to take.
It gives them something to look forward to, something to try and reach for. We always preach that it's always good to work hard to accomplish something, and the guys here have accomplished a lot in order to play and put the jersey on, and the kids, when they play in our program, really start to think that way.
Thinking and playing that way can help. It did for senior captain Grant Arnold.
I see a lot of myself in these guys, their energy for hockey. It's great. And this is a time where hockey is just pure fun, so it's always nice to see that and get reminded that it's a great game. I never thought I'd be a Pioneer, and being a captain is a really special thing. And who knows, one of them could be that guy sometime.
One thing's for sure, these Junior Pioneers are working toward their goal every time they get on the ice. You guys want to be Pioneers when you grow up?
Yeah.
The Junior Pioneers have around 300 players participating on more than a dozen teams this year. Still to come on the program, we'll preview the slate of holiday games that's ahead on your calendar. That's next on NCHC Between the Boards. Welcome back. Some unfortunate news out of Omaha this week as sophomore forward Avery Peterson has left the program. Peterson tallied 21 points as a freshman but had just 1 assist so far this year for the Mavericks. His brother was diagnosed with a rare terminal disease in 2013. While his hockey future remains unclear at this point, he is intending to move back home to his hometown of Grand Rapids, Minnesota. Our thoughts are with Peterson and his family as they move forward in the future. The Omaha Mavericks are one of 3 NCHC teams that will be in action before the turn of the new calendar year. Omaha will play host to Arizona State the weekend of December 18th. Colorado College is at Alabama Huntsville that weekend as well, and on December 30th, Western Michigan plays a single game at Bowling Green. As the calendar turns to 2016, the first weekend features Notre Dame at Denver, Arizona State at St. Cloud State, Alabama Huntsville at North Dakota, RPI at Miami, and Minnesota Duluth, Omaha, St. Cloud State are also in exhibition play over that time. We'll recap all of those games and have much more for you when our show resumes on Friday, January 8th. Until then, we hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2016.